All right. Let's see where we're at. Oh, interesting. All right. Law for the day. Do not commit to anyone. This is a quote from Queen Elizabeth I. I would rather be a beggar and single than a queen and married. It is the fool who always rushes to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, playing people against one another, making them pursue you. If you allow people to feel they possess you to any degree, you lose all power over them. By not committing your affections, they will only try harder to win you over. Stay aloof, and you gain the power that comes from their attention and frustrated desire. Daily law: play the virgin queen. Give them hope, but never satisfaction. That's from the 48 Laws of Power. Law number 20, do not commit to anyone. That one's a little rough. Let's see what's in this one. Let's just skip to a page and find a quote. Hmm. All right, this is what starts out a chapter called Know Your Enemy, the Intelligence Strategy. This is the way it starts out. The target of your strategies should be less the army you face than the mind of the man or woman who runs it. If you understand how that mind works, you have the key to deceiving and controlling it. Train yourself to read people. Pick up the signals they unconsciously send about their innermost thoughts and intentions. A friendly front will let you watch them closely and mine them for information. Beware of projecting your own emotions and mental habits onto them. Try to think as they think. By finding your opponent's psychological weakness, you can work to unhinge their minds. Okay. Interesting. Woke up with a headache. It's never fun. I was smelling smoke all night. Someone likes to sit out in the common area and smoke. And we tend to have our window open at night. And normally it's my woman who's always smelling it, and I don't. But last night, I kept smelling it. And now I woke up with this little headache, and I don't know if maybe it's that, or if I had my hair up too tight. I put it up in a bun, then I put a clip real high up on my head when I sleep. And I don't know if that might have caused it, but I have the smallest little headache. So don't commit to anyone, or don't commit fully. That's really if you're playing the game of being pursued, I guess. I guess if you're single and you're trying to court attention, that's really useful. Especially if you're well sought after. Because it's funny how that works. You tend to become more popular or more sought after when other people see that other people are after you. Everybody wants what everybody wants. Nobody wants what nobody wants. Kind of how it goes. Oh, you are way down there. Okay. Here we go. Hitting the road. Yeah, those two little excerpts I read don't really give me much to talk about. There's not much to say on that. Other than it's pretty straightforward. Never rush to take a side. I guess it's good to maintain. Where are you going? What are you doing? Come on. It's good to maintain a neutral position when it comes to anything. I kind of get that. Oh, that's interesting. That car has a little. I didn't see a blinker when he went to turn, but there's like down near the fog light area when he went to turn, one turned on. I thought maybe he just. Oh no, I think he's got some sort of short because one keeps going on and then going off. Probably doesn't even know what's happening. What was I saying? I don't even remember. I'm half awake. This little headache's really bugging me. Or this could be like a little headache from the bug that everybody has to deal with. Probably for a good portion of their life now. I have to deal with this from now on. It's just here to stay. See what's going on in the world. What's going on in my life? Oh, okay. So it was interesting. I reviewed what I created with Claude. It was like what it really is it wasn't exactly what it said it made. Because in the description, it said it was like 110 pages of a screenplay for what is the story of my life. But it definitely wasn't anywhere near that length. Maybe it was way less. It was maybe, I don't know, let's just say somewhere between 10 and 20 pages. And it seemed to be like a synopsis of like my life story. You used all fictional names for all the characters, but it got it pretty right. And I had to make two versions. One with a very spiritual like element to it, like a real mystical kind of serendipitous spiritual element, and then another one with that's just like, I think what it said is like it's open to the audience's interpretation. So I read through both, and I definitely liked the spiritual one a lot more. But it was interesting how it jumped back and forth through time. It gave different like dates, different years of when different scenes were taking place, and it was like going back and forth between different phases of my life. It came out pretty good, other than the fact that it wasn't like obviously it wasn't a full like screenplay like I thought it might have been, but it was a really interesting starting point to come up with. But I was pretty pleased. I liked it. It's just very interesting to see how you can do that with AI. And after looking at it, it was like I kind of think it was what my woman was calling a treatment, because she said like the next phase after like a full screenplay is created is you make a treatment, which is kind of like just a very shorter version of what the full script is or screenplay is. And that's what you use to shop your idea around to different, I guess, like, I don't know, production companies, I guess would be the title of who would be interested in something like that. I don't know. I don't know anything about the movie industry. But I liked it. I loaded them up to my laptop so she could read them if she wants to. But it's interesting to see. What it really gave me a good idea of is how a screenplay is structured. Like it gives like the visual, like it'll say like interior and of like one of the characters' homes. It'll give like a time of day and the year that the scene's taking place, and then it'll give like some lines of dialogue between characters, which pretty much sets the scene. I guess that's why they call it a screenplay. This is how it plays on screen. But I thought that was pretty cool, and it's pretty amazing that the conversation that I had with Claude was able to just spit that out. So now I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go back to focusing on my training program. And what I'm going to have it do is I'm going to have it go through the program that I have built, and I'm going to have it just pull out bullet point and have it make a list of bullet points for me to reference as I go through my program. Really, I have to give like a verbal presentation of what I'm doing. The program itself is like 27 pages long, but I need like a more condensed version for maybe really only certain aspects of it. Maybe really I just need a physical copy of this thing in my hand so I could start reading it over and over again. Probably what I should have done is brought my laptop, because I have it in my laptop. I don't know. We'll see. See what I come up with. Other than that, what was happening? Oh, my dog job. My Sunday job. I was talking to the owner about some small improvements to make. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but we had a dog there that scaled one of the walls and got loose. And this is like an 8.5 foot wall. So I showed her like I think they're called coyote rollers or something like that. It's just basically a big rolling pin that you mount to the top of a wall so that if a dog tries to jump over, there are some dogs that could completely clear that wall probably without touching it. But I'm kind of hoping to venture a guess that probably won't happen. Pretty rare. And I'm visualizing that when the dog did scale the wall, it had to kind of like grab the top of the wall with its paws to get over. Then again, unless she went over the video surveillance system that she has, It could have cleared it and we don't know it. Mine might not be aware of that, but she was asking me, do you think we should have these on the inside also? And I told her absolutely. And there should be any wall that a dog might be able to scale over, those should be on top. And she was kind of looking at it from the point that, it should be okay though if they get out on the inside of the facility. It's just we don't want them getting out from the outside areas that we have and then being able to just, run away. And I told her, yeah, but you want to make, from the perspective of a client, you want to make it look like you're doing everything possible to mitigate that kind of instance. We go the extra mile. I told her you want to make it known that we go the extra mile to care for your family member. And I thought it was important to phrase it that way. We're not just taking care of your dog, we're taking care of your family member. And their safety and security is our number one priority. That's a good image and a good message to relay to any prospective clients, especially people who haven't had new clients who haven't had their dogs there yet. A lot of times they want to come and they want to have a small tour. They want to come inside and check out everything and see what it looks like. That's something you want to be able to point to. That's a selling point. So like any kind of business owner out there, that's always how you want to portray the image of your business. You're 100% customer focused. And you've covered every base when it comes to, especially, this kind of business where you're taking care of live animals. It's not just a product sitting on a shelf. We have live animals that we take care of. And their care is number one. Well, just another small conversation I was having yesterday. I don't even know if she got back. I think that's how I left it, with that kind of a statement. Let's see what she does. I'm interested to see what she does. Because I know, from a business perspective, you want to remain profitable. And I hate phrasing it that way, but a business owner will do everything they can to cut down costs and maximize profitability. That's just how a business runs. But at some point, you do want to put out money that, in the long run, will end up making you more money. And I think this is one of those decisions. The money's just going to have to be put out. Can't cut corners on this one. Oh man, I was having a dream. I don't remember what it was. It's kind of just coming back to me right now. Oh man, I can't remember it. My alarm woke me up from it. Darn it. I hate when that happens. I wish this little headache would go away. This feels like a little COVID headache. So annoying. I took one acetaminophen before I left for work this morning. I don't like taking too many of those. I don't like taking too much of anything anymore. I even cut my caffeine consumption way down. Trying to get as close to baseline as possible without any additives to supplement anything except for like a vitamin. Oh man. But yeah, going back to that daily law, like I always keep them guessing and don't commit to anyone. I forgot where I had heard that before too. Where you kind of want to stay like elusive. And the way it was explained, I think it was probably for like more in that chapter of the 48 Laws of Power. They kind of explain like when you leave people to their own imagination, they come up with much more than might even be true, but that makes you even that much more like alluring. The stories that people come up with in their heads are even more like fascinating than the truth. Sometimes you want to like leave like an air of mystery to you. You don't give too much of your background story and where you came from, and you only drop like little hints. You know what it is? I think it was from the same author that wrote the 48 Laws of Power wrote another book called The Art of Seduction. I think it was from that book. You know, especially when you're trying to capture someone's attention, you tell very little of not that you're telling lies, it's that you don't tell the whole complete honest truth. You don't just throw it all out there. You leave a little bit of room for their imagination to start to go to work. And their imagination will do most of the work for you when it comes to capturing their attention. Then their mind just goes wild with possibilities. There's a saying like, what is it? The truth is stranger than fiction, but the fiction can be more alluring than the truth. The top of my cup wasn't completely shut. I felt the tiniest little drop come out. Ah. Ah. Or maybe this headache's like a little caffeine thing. I'm not sure, but I haven't been drinking a whole lot of it, so I don't really understand why that would be happening right now. Now I gotta rack my brains on what else I can do with AI. How else can I use this? Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I could really probably work on my resume. I know you could feed it. You could feed it documents and have it analyze it and improve upon it. once you start feeding it information. Maybe I could do that. Or maybe I could just really come up with another version of my training plan. I should probably really focus on that 100% now. Because it's funny when one of my coworkers, I've been talking to her the last couple of days about her dog, and I find myself getting really energized once that conversation takes place. I can feel myself like really come to life, and all this information just like starts to flood my mind. All these different ideas and things I forget that I know so much about this because I don't talk about it as much as I used to. But I really do get a lot of energetic boost when the opportunity arises. So that's what I really should do, is actually retool. That's what I'm going to do. Definitely going to go over it today and see what I can add in terms of like building a more of an explanatory page or two about the psychological aspect of engaging your dog. So I already added one really good page. Darn, I should have really. I have to put my laptop in my. I'm tired of looking at all this stuff on my phone. That's the biggest issue. It's just too small, and I need to flip through the document quickly so I can start seeing what to do. Okay, tomorrow that's what I'll do. Still waking up. I can feel it. Kind of visualizing in my head how to present this or how to sell it. I guess that would probably be like a marketing strategy. How could I market this to local daycares and rescues to give like a 1 or 2 day orientation? I know a lot of these facilities, they don't really walk dogs. I know the one I work at definitely does not, but one of the rescues I worked at does. They do take dogs out for walks, but that's because they're not clients' dogs. Those are their dogs that they're looking to adopt out. So the dynamic's a bit different. And I know there's like a lot of liability issues when it comes to walking dogs, and a lot of board and daycare, they don't want to take the risk. Again, it all comes down to money, which is a shame because now you're limiting what you could offer. Really, if you're willing to take the risk, you have a well-trained staff. You can offer walking as a service for dogs that are boarding for long periods of time, or even there for a daycare. And that can bleed over to a training session with the client. A lot of this stuff is really overlooked. That's all because they're trying to minimize liability, because they're scared of having to pay money, if something goes wrong. They're missing out on the fact that a lot can go right and you can end up making more money. That requires a well-trained staff. And that's where I come into play. So I should look into structuring some sort of marketing strategy to get this out to different facilities in my area. You see, I've never really been business minded. This whole AI thing's really got me focused on business now. So I'm having to learn, to have to take on a new mental outlook when it comes to how to get this business out there. I've never written a business proposal. I've never thought of marketing strategy. I've never thought of any of this stuff before. So this is all new. So I guess this is where it's moving towards. So I have to get into it, really wrap my mind around how this all works. Brand new me. Right. My exit is coming up. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I need to focus heavily on creating material that's more geared, because a lot of what I already created does focus a lot on the dog. Now I have to create like supplemental information that's geared more towards helping the dog owner understand their role. If the dog's role is easy to understand, it's the human's role that they tend to overlook. And a lot of trainers don't. As far as I know, a lot of trainers don't focus as heavy on that as they should. Which is why I like what my trainer instilled in me. So that should be today's project. And boop. All right. I'm here. Safe and sound. Everybody have a productive, pleasant day. Let's go to work.